PONDering with CGR Undertow. So we recently asked for suggestions on Twitter for topics for future episodes of Pondering. And one of the suggestions was really interesting. It was from our friend at Lambadusk. And they suggested that we do a pondering on the meaning of the label gamer. And what I thought was so interesting about it wasn't even necessarily the topic, but the choice of word there. The label gamer. It really is a label, isn't it? And to be honest with you, it's one that I personally can't stand. You know, when I was a kid, we didn't call each other gamers, you know what I mean? We didn't identify as someone who plays video games. Everyone played video games. It wasn't a big deal, you know what I mean? And another thing that we certainly didn't do was like criticize each other based on the video games that we did or didn't play. Like we would argue about, you know, why my Super Nintendo is better than your Sega Genesis, or why your Genesis is way cooler than my kiddie Super Nintendo system. But it didn't have like, it was kind of fun. It didn't have this mean-spirited, kind of legitimate like criticism of you are not a gamer. It wasn't like that back then. It was just like, oh, you like Mario? Mario's lame, I like Sonic. Hey, you wanna come over later and play F-Zero? Like that was it. That was what life was like pre-gamer. And you know, if you really think about it, not only is it kind of a harmful label, I think, but it's also just really stupid. I mean, can you imagine if like people who went to go see a movie were like, I'm a movier. People who watch TV shows like identified as that. Like what? So oh yeah, I'm a TV shower guy. And if you don't watch my show, you're not really a TVer. I know, I can tell that you're just watching those stupid casual TV shows. You're on PBS and you're on, you know, Dr. Phil. And I mentioned that I think the label is harmful to video games. I think it's harmful in a couple ways. The first way is that it's taken the camaraderie of video games and replaced it with this misguided sense of ownership. Gamers today think gamers back in my day, used to just play video games and enjoy video games. Today's gamers think they own video games. And you know, so much of all this absurdity, the petitions, the negativity, the tribalism, the outright anger over video games, so much of that, I think, can be traced back to that label, gamer, and what that label means to people for some reason. It's not just, it doesn't mean someone who plays video games, because a lot of people play video games, but they're not gamers. And it's not that they don't want to be or anything like that. It's like they're not allowed to be. They're not allowed to be based on what they play. They're not allowed to be based on their opinions. It's such a weird. You would think. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of gamers, a lot of people who play video games, probably aren't like, we weren't the coolest kids in the class. You know what I mean? We felt firsthand what it feels like to be excluded, right? And it's so sad to me that we, as gamers, do that to each other now. We take people who are on our team, people who are one of us, people who play video games and just have fun with this form of media, because really that's all, at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's a form of media that we happen to enjoy together. But something about that doesn't work with people. It can't just be that. It can't just be like movies. Everyone likes movies. It's no big deal. It can't just be like books. People read. Who cares? With video games, it's like you have to pass the test. And if you want to be a part of the club, that's fine, but you're probably not going to get in. I mean, not unless you sign this petition and you use this hashtag and you join this movement. I mean, video games in 2015 have become about movements. You know, going back to the original question, you know, what does that label mean? What does gamer mean? What does it mean to be a gamer? I think it's changed, and I don't think that it means what people want it to mean anymore. You know, I mentioned that it's a harmful label. I think the second way that it's harmful is that it's a label that's actually affecting video games. I mean, the industry is pandering to this group by doing everything it can to make them happy, even if it comes at the cost of making just the average consumer happy. You know, they go out of their way to appease the vocal minority. And in doing so, the entire industry has become an echo chamber. It's become an echo chamber of ideas and opinions where if you say anything differently than what is the accepted viewpoint in the gamer sphere, you're an outcast. You don't meet the test. you're not a real gamer anymore. And it's not just affecting the camaraderie and the community anymore. Now it's that community is affecting the industry. You know, to be fair, there are probably a lot of reasons for that. You know, I mean, we live in this this reality TV, interactive social media era where no one's just a passive audience member anymore. You know, you don't just watch TV, you vote who stays on the show. You're involved. You know, and you can go on social media and you can express your opinion about everything. Everyone has a platform now. And so it's not just, no one anymore, we're not conditioned to just be audience members. We've been taught that we're a part of the process. And in no form of media does that manifest itself in a more profound and, in my opinion, negative way than in the gamer of 2015. To them, being a gamer and what that label means is almost more important than the games themselves and the experience that comes with it and the camaraderie that used to come with it. You start to see the costs of labels and the psychological effect that these labels have on people and what it really means these days, unfortunately, to be a gamer as opposed to someone who just likes video games.